Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Title Tuesday. How's everyone doing? If you're in the chat, give me a hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Tournament's gonna get started in just 2 minutes here. As you can see, it's a packed lineup as usual. For those who don't know me, I'm International Master Kostya Kafutsky. I've done some stuff for Chess.com, so maybe you guys have seen me on other streams or something, I don't know. I usually stream for Chess Dojo, twitch.tv/ChessDojo Live. Wow, we have Washington, D.C. in the house. Amazing. Watching from the White House, so cool. Yeah, such a packed lineup today. I'm always excited to watch Title Tuesday because it's like, I mean, pretty much as strong as like most super tournaments out there. You got Hikaru, Danya, Vidit, Dubov, Alexei Sarana, Zubov, Grischuk playing, Giga Kuparadze, Andrekin, Fair Chess on YouTube, David Howell, Renato Terry. I don't know how this IM is number 11, but he Blitz legend. Chess Warrior, I think this is Noterbeck. We got Svidler playing, Bilodo, that's the one of the candidates from the candidates tournament. Totally blanking on his name right now. But we have Parham, Zhigalko, Ravik Falcon, Vincent Keimer, Wonderful Time, Jobava, Brandon Jacobson. I mean, it's like so many gems here. Kamsky, seeded number 29. So it's gonna be some good games. It's gonna be some good games in here. Yeah, what's up everyone? Yeah, Sharkma in the house with the dojo emote. I love it. I love it. And I think we are getting started. So let's check out some games. I'm just gonna open up some games here. Actually, I don't want this one. I want to find the games here. And yeah, we have Hikaru here. I'm just gonna start opening up a bunch of games. Naroditsky playing black, Vidit. If there's someone you guys want me to follow, like Dubov or Grischuk or Sarana, you just let me know in the chat and I'll try to cover as many players as I can. Got Andrekin here. And yeah, a lot of legends. Okay, well let's just start with the top board. Board 1, Hikaru, 3100. Playing against National Master Gonzaga from Brazil. Shout out to Brazil. And yeah, actually, let me just fix my. Is Zhang playing? That's a good question. I haven't seen him in. I haven't seen him in the list, but he might be playing. He might be playing. Yeah. See, can I fix this? Whoa, Andrekin already won. Andrekin won? He's got 1 point? How did that happen? Andrekin 1-0. Oh, Witcher blundered a piece. Bishop g4. He got nervous playing the big guy. And that was it. That was just a freebie. 2 attackers, 1 defender, and that's a GG. That's our first GG of the day, guys. First GG of the day. All right, let's jump back to Hikaru. Hikaru, I think he's got a little bit of pressure here. This is kind of a nice diagonal that his queen is on, and now he's kind of building this restriction idea with f3 e4 to take away the d5 square from black's pieces. But so far, black is doing really solid. I think his position is honestly not that bad. So yeah, if you guys want to play the tournament, you need to be a registered titled player on Chess.com, and then if you go to the tournaments tab, you can find the event there. Whoa, e5. Oh, e5, that's a beautiful tactic. Queen takes e5, knight f5 check, wins the queen. And if black doesn't take the pawn, then white is winning the minor piece. Oh, very nice find there. Yeah. Okay, I think we're gonna just call this one for Hikaru. He's up a piece. He usually wins these. Who is Chess Warrior? Chess Warrior is the young phenom from Uzbekistan, Norbek Abdusatorov, and he's a very strong player in his own right, one of the top juniors in the world. Let's jump to Danya here. Danya playing black, and I mean, material is equal, but okay, eval bar loves black's position here. Excuse me, material is equal. Black has an extra horse in the position, extra knight, so Danya's doing pretty well. Some free pieces for the top guys in today's rounds. Huge blunder by Hikaru. Uh-oh. I didn't see that. I don't think so. Yeah, it looks like he's still up a piece. Hikaru's still winning. Danya also up a piece, should be winning. Let's jump to Vidit's game, another top streamer. Now Vidit is not winning, but I would say he has a very decent position here with this knight on d5. That said, black has some nice pressure on this f-file, and at some point black is going to be taking and taking on f1. So yeah, I think black is holding their own for the time being. Okay. Yeah, Chess Dojo represent. I'm used to chat baiting me. I'm used to it. But guys, I would encourage you not to pay attention to the eval bar too much, because the eval bar, honestly, it can be a little slow. You know, it sees something, it goes crazy, and then it realizes, oh wait, actually, it's yeah, not such a big deal. But okay, I'll keep it up because I know it's part of the Title Tuesday curriculum. Oh, we got a prediction up in the chat. Will Vidit Gujrati end in the top 3 today? So get your predictions in. Oh, big money on no. Big money on no. 20,000 Chess.com points on no. All right, we'll see how that turns out. I think Vidit's got good chances. He won last time, didn't he? I feel like he won recently. Okay. Wow, rook takes e4, giving black the chance to take the 2 rooks for the queen, but then at the end, white is going to have like queen g6 check and knight e7, and actually it's kind of a nice mating line. King h8, queen takes h5, game over. Yeah, so Vidit looking very, very good here. Black's king opening up, knight on d5. It's really strong when you have a knight kind of anchored in the center, because you don't have to worry about the knight hanging, and it's always ready to jump to some squares to give checks. Okay, black avoids the trade. Now Vidit's going to be trying to convert this one. He's playing on the light squares. When you're playing against the bishop, especially in blitz, you just kind of keep all your stuff on the light squares. That way you kind of prevent any accidents from happening. Well, rook e8, nice move. Nice move from Sokoloko from Greece. No, from Greece? From Israel, excuse me. From Israel. Okay, now they're down to seconds. The time control is 3+1, so we're not going to see a ton of flags today. The 1 second increment gives you enough time to at least make a move. Might not be the best move, but it's enough. It looks like we're going to get an endgame here, but I kind of really like this endgame for white. Number 1, he's up a pawn. Number 2, he has a knight. Knights are very good in time scrambles. Knight coming to f5 now, and yeah, that's what we call Forktown. Rook d2 though, but he takes with check, and yeah, that's going to be a GG for Vidit. Looks like Dubov was held to a draw in his first game. And let's see if we can find some live games here. Okay, Grischuk here, 3,000. And he is winning this one. He is winning. His bishop is strong, and his g2 pawn is going to be hard to trade off. So let's check out the Super GM technique here. We're about to see a lot of zugzwangs. G4, G5, he's just going to push past. You can just take this one, keep it simple. And yeah, the pawn is promoting. Probably time to resign there. I think Grischuk has known how to checkmate with a king and queen since he was about 4 or 5 years old. Let's check out Chess Warrior. He's trying to win this one. And, feels like something kind of strange happened here. I think, you know, white actually had a very easy draw here, guys. The way you draw with when you're one pawn behind in a rook endgame is you just keep your king in front of the pawn. But white went the wrong way here. If you play king b2, it's actually a very easy draw. He went this way, but now his king is cut off. And this is going to end in Lucina technique. And Chess Warrior, he's known this endgame for a while. He's about to build a bridge. And yeah, that's game over. Rook went to the a file, covering the king. King slid over, and now white had no way to stop the pawn. If king c2, then black just gives check and then promotes, and game over. Okay, let's see other games here. We got David Howell. Looks like he won his first game. Who else we got? Grandmaster Ryazantsev. Alexander Ryazantsev from Russia. He won his first game. Let's see, who else do we have here? Got Roberto JBM getting upset, unfortunately. Let's keep it going. How about Giga Kuparadze? Oh, round 2. That's it. We're in round 2, guys. Unbelievable. That was super fast. Usually you get a lot of those games that like drag out for like 10 minutes. Like both sides playing rook versus rook. Guys, look at this. Look at this. We have Ginger GM playing against Grischuk. We got to watch this game. I mean, a couple of heavyweights. Are we about to see h4? Are we going to see h4 from Simon Williams? Unfortunately, okay, Grischuk plays the the Grunfeld. If you play the King's Indian, I have a feeling we would have seen quick h4 here. All right, but now Simon has to figure out what he wants to do against the Grunfeld. Yeah, big matchup here. Who are we rooting for, guys? Do we have any Ginger GM fans in the chat, or is it all for Grischuk? h4, guys. Come on, look, I know my Ginger GM. All right, I know my Ginger GM. Wish I was playing Guess the Move. I would have definitely gotten points for that one. Okay, c6. This is a very solid response. And yeah, we'll see if white... I don't think he's going to push h5 too early. I think usually you want to wait until black is actually castled before pushing h5. So he's just going to play this one in kind of a more positional way, e3. Maybe bishop comes to e2 or d3 next. And we actually have a structure that resembles the exchange Slav, of all things. But I would say black's bishop on g7, not the best piece. I mean, I think black's position is solid, but I would say white has decent chances for a little edge here. Because bishop on g7 is very restricted, white has a lot of space, and now he's going to be playing for that space advantage here with knight e5. Now if black takes, we're going to see, I think, bishop takes. So that whenever black moves the knight, white gets to trade off the dark squared bishops and remove kind of the key defender from black's position. But he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. Maybe he wants to take with the pawn. No, he takes with the bishop. Yeah, I think this is the right way to go. And now we're probably going to see dark square bishop trade. Lots of trades here. Grischuk doesn't seem to mind all the exchanges. To me, it feels like white has a very comfortable position. He can push h5, but I guess black thinks he's very solid here, and okay, I can't really disagree with him on that. So takes on e4, d4, bishop e2. Now maybe queen a5 check. Asking a little question to white: do you want to trade queens or do you want to move king f1? Okay, bishop e6, never mind. But now we're gonna see h5, I assume. And a lot of times when white gets the pawn to h6, it's not really about trying to checkmate, but rather just the pawn on h6 is very annoying. But no, instead he castles. Very interesting. He just castles, and now this pawn on h4, I guess he could defend it with g3, or maybe we'll see h5 anyway. But here white has to be careful, right? If you play h5, hg, hg, and it's actually black is the one who gets to use the open h file, like rook h8, queen d6, and white would get in trouble here. So he has to be pretty careful here with how he handles this one. I think white's position is totally fine. Probably things are now very just close to equal at this point. And yeah, we'll see what happens here. Okay, only one open file, so I'm imagining we're going to get some grandmaster moves here. Rook fc1, rook ac1. b3 makes sense, restricting the bishop, making sure the pawn is not hanging. Now I would expect rook f d8. And I feel like at some point black wants to get this e5 break in. That would be my guess. Is Grischuk playing World Cup? I don't know. Does anyone know? Maybe someone in the chat wants to look it up real quick. So many chess events coming up, guys. Oh my god. We got the FIDE World Cup. We got the Grand Chess Tour in Croatia with this guy Kasparov coming out of retirement to play some chess. That's going to be very exciting. Kasparov is always always a joy to watch. World Cup is starting, I think, in just like a handful of days. Yeah, I think most of the players are already traveling to Sochi to arrive. World Cup is one of my favorite events. I mean, it's always just so exciting. All right, we have a5. Very positional struggle here, but well, we're getting into bullet territory. So these players are about to have to make moves very, very quickly, I would say, in the near future. All right, let me make sure my setup is actually fully tight here. That should be good. And let me actually fix this one as well. One sec here. Want to see as many players as we can in the standings. A lot of players here actually already on 2 out of 2. Of course, this tournament is 11 rounds long, so yeah, it's going to be a real marathon today to see who gets first place in the end. All right. Oh, what happened here? We had some changes. Excuse me. Let's go back. So we had some trades on d5. And now I would say, guys, white just has a clear advantage here. I mean, only white can really be better. Now, it's going to be a messy scramble, so who knows. f3, I'm not sure about. I think f3 is weakening white's king a little bit. But I love white's position here. He just has pressure against c6. Black has to be super passive defending. And white is the one who's kind of dictating the action. So maybe he goes king f2 next. Maybe queen c1. Maybe he eyes this pawn on g5. I don't think white should trade here because that would allow black's rook to open up, but probably he could and then play like rook c2 and he's safe. He goes e4, so he says, okay, if you want to trade, boss, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. But I think now in the rook endgame, black should be pretty much fine here. He can play like a4, for example. Oh, here he's going king h6, going after this pawn. Oh, I missed this one. So white needs to be a little bit precise here to make sure he's not losing material. But yeah, this one headed into very drawish territory, I would say. Most likely result here, probably going to be a draw. But who knows? Who knows? Anything, you know anything about blitz, you know that anything can happen. Doesn't matter how drawish the position is, how much time is on the clock. You know, literally all three results still possible. Okay, g4. Both sides have their passed pawns, but now black has two connected passers. That's very dangerous. Grischuk here activating the rook. We're probably about to see some super GM Russian technique here. f5 coming. I think black is taking this one home. King is more active. And yeah, these two pawns are going to be super strong. And notice that black's king here is shielded, meaning that there's no checks. So yeah, this is officially lost. He could have taken this one, but yeah, that's game over. Well played there by Grischuk. Very well played in the rook endgame. It was a good game by Simon, but just kind of went wrong once the game got down to the time scramble. Okay, a lot of the favorites winning. Danya on 2 out of 2. Hikaru on 2 out of 2. Let's see, Vidit still playing. Oh man, trying to convert this endgame with an extra piece. I think he's gonna manage. He's about to take this pawn on g4. Oh, an opponent just flagged. Yeah, the game was turning in black's favor here. All right, let's keep it going. We'll see some more time scrambles. Here we have Para Maksudlu trying to win with black. And objectively, these endgames are usually very, very drawish when you only have one extra pawn, but they're also not that easy to hold. There's a lot of tricks, and they're pretty easy to mess up. For example, if black's rook was like on f7 here already, then at some point black could think about like an e3 break, f2, and the pawn promotes. But usually black tries to get the rook active, but then that allows a lot of checks. All right, he's coming in with the king, but I think white should just keep the king cut off. Okay, rook f7 threatening e3. Very tricky, very tricky. Rook d1. I think we're going to see king c2 here, chase down that rook. And now if white keeps the rook on the d file, we're going to get e3. So he has to get off. Now king to d3. But it feels pretty solid for white. Maybe rook e3. Okay, he plays king h2 here. But now he's getting cut off. Now the threat is rook to g2. Oh, this one's looking sour. But rook g2, stalemate ideas. White could go for a crazy rook. So, yeah, okay, very tough to hold this on seconds on the clock. And now pawn is hanging, mate is threatened, white has to give the pawn, and yeah, that's gonna be a GG. All right, Parham wins that one. Let's see what other games we have available. All right, we have Tamir Nabati, strong grandmaster, winning his game. Vlad Dobrov wins his game. Let's see. Arabic Falcon held to a draw. Held to a draw. Let's see. Who else still playing? Andrekin. Oh, we got round 3, guys. That's it. Round 3 is officially underway. Andrekin on 2 out of 2. Let's see the matchups here. See who we can observe. And yeah, you guys let me know if there's someone you want me to watch. I think for now, actually, we'll stick with Andrekin. This is one of the world's best blitz players for many years. I remember watching this guy on ICC slug it out against Hikaru and Grischuk, and yeah, he's definitely one of the... Okay, but if we're going to play a Berlin endgame, I don't know if we're going to follow this game for too long. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Let's check in with Hikaru. Let's see. Okay, Hikaru's position... much more interesting here. Knight f3, b6, and looks like black is giving Hikaru a taste, a little bit of his own medicine. But I definitely like white's position here. 2 bishops, nice center, kind of somewhat more solid structure on the king side. I think white should be doing better. Yeah, Svidler, we can definitely check out Svidler. Let me see if I can find him on the list. Hopefully he hasn't dropped the game yet. /follow. What's his username? It's like pSvidler, right? All right, cool. Let's see. Oh, Svidler is on 1 point out of 2, so he must have lost the game. All right, we'll keep an eye on this one as well. All right, but let's stick with Hikaru. Obviously, guys, Hikaru is streaming, so you can also just watch his perspective on these games as well. Okay, well, he's doing pretty good here. H6. I think we're gonna see the bishop back up. What is he thinking about? Does he want to trade? Oh no, I think I'm missing some moves. Yeah, bishop h4 played. Knight f5 takes ef5. Okay, this is now live position. Yeah, 482 players in the event, guys. 482 players. I think it always starts off higher, and then it kind of goes down as more rounds are played and people withdraw. But right now we have 480 players. How's Vincent Keimer doing? Let's see. I think he's on 2 out of 2. Currently playing WIM Potapova from Russia. And his position's definitely quite reasonable. He's got the 2 bishops. He's down a pawn, but black's pawns here, especially on the a-file, very weak. So I would say white has full compensation with the pair of bishops here. Yeah, Vincent, one of the strongest juniors in the world. 2900 blitz rating. Very, very good player. Oh, he's playing in the Junior Speed Chess Championship tomorrow. Oh, I didn't know that. Who is his opponent, flame-wise? Does anyone know? Yeah, these juniors, I don't know how they do it, but they're very good at chess. I don't know how they do it. They're some of the best in the world. All right, queen b7. Yeah, white's queen is coming in. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to jump back to Hikaru's game just because this one is getting very excited. Look at this tactic. Knight takes d7. I love it. Tons of motives here, using the pin, using rook e7 check. This is kind of an attraction tactic. Very nice shot, knight takes d7. Now black took on c4. White doesn't even need to keep the knight defended. I think he can take this one. But maybe he's thinking about, yeah, taking something with check. That seems to be stronger. Rook e7 now coming in. I think queen is going to come into d4. And we're going to see resignation very, very soon. Okay, round 16, Haik Martirosyan against Vincent Keimer. Oh, big matchup, big matchup. Haik is a very strong junior from Armenia. I think he, honestly, a lot of times he's like one of the top finishers in Title Tuesday. So when it comes to speed chess, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. Yeah, Vincent Keimer is coached by Peter Leko, famously, one of the best players in the world, former world championship challenger, so super strong coach. Let's jump back to Svidler. We were checking out this game. Now this game is pretty exciting. Engine doesn't love White's position, but the thing about the engine is that it's not on for the players. And the players don't know what's going on here. But, okay, optically, from a human point of view, it doesn't look great. Feels like black's king is safer, white's king is kind of stuck on e1. So, I love Svidler. I think he's one of the best commentators out there. One of the best chess personalities, period. Nothing against his opponent. Just everyone loves Svidler. But, yeah, his position here is very suspect, unfortunately. G4 hanging. I mean, I think he wants to get bishop f4 and try to get some play on the dark squares. And the game could definitely turn. I mean, his opponent is down to 23 seconds. So I am by no means calling this one. In fact, I'm not even sure if I would bet on black here. I think I would probably still bet on white just because of the time difference and the difference in rating. When you get a winning position against such a top player, sometimes you get nervous. And it can be difficult to convert. But so far, black is playing just an excellent game here. Maybe he has no fear. He has no fear of the 7-time, or is it 8-time Russian champion? I am just commentating the wizard, and yes, this is the Swiss event. So not an arena, but a Swiss event, which means that they give pairings every round based on how well the players are doing. If you win your first 3 games, you will be paired against someone who also won their first 3 games. Oh, knight takes d1, queen sacrifice from Svidler here. He's trying to make a mess on the board. And yeah, I mean, the game could easily turn. This d4 pawn is hanging. There could be some tricks. I mean, rook takes d4, rook e4 perhaps. I would say this one, yeah, is actually 100% still up in the air. In fact, white might just have better chances now because black's king is quite vulnerable. And that's not so easy to play with the queen because it's very easy to blunder the queen. Also, black's time here is just really very close. He got down to like 0.0 seconds there. It was like almost a flag. And okay, Svidler does flag his opponent. I almost call him Flidler. All right, let's check in with Vincent. And he looks like he's winning this one. He's got the extra piece. So I'm going to expect the kid to convert this one. Let's see who else is still playing. Danya. Danya won his game, so he's on 3 out of 3. Let's see Vidit. Vidit's still trying to convert this one. He's got extra pawn, and wow, nice trick there. Look at this swindle. He plays rook c6, hoping black plays knight e4 check so he can take and defend the rook. Very tricky guy, very tricky. All right, h4, h5, f5, takes, h6, king f7, bishop d5 check, king f8, rook c8 check. This h pawn is going home, and oh no, he blundered the rook. I think he was still winning here if he moved the king, rook takes, and then bishop g8. I think that would have been winning for white. But now black has won the exchange, and oh, this was not right. Oh no, that's a disaster for black. He took on h7. That is just pure panic. I'm actually shocked by this decision. I mean, the game's over now. What he could have done is just swing the rook over and have the king defend against the pawn. And then it would have been very difficult for white to do anything. No, black had a clear draw here. He takes here, he sacrifices the rook for the a-pawn, and then he can hold against the h-pawn. Wow, very strange blunder there by black, because honestly, I mean, all he needed to do was move the rook. Even if he doesn't sack the rook, I mean, the h-pawn's not going anywhere. So a bit fortunate there by Vidit, but that is blitz. That is blitz. What are you going to do? All right, let's see who else is playing. Grischuk wins by checkmate. You don't see that too often. Looks like Zubov wins again. Zubov also very, very strong blitz player from my motherland, Ukraine. And let's see. Okay, 2 games left. 2 games left. We have Chess Ajedrez 2020. That's funny because Ajedrez is the Spanish word for chess. So this guy's name is Chess 2020 against Dmitry Petukov from Russia. All right, we have well, opposite color bishops here, but I don't know if white is holding this one because this pawn is going to force white to lose the bishop, and I think black might have missed it. I think should have just been pushing the pawn, but okay. Now looks like white is going to be holding this one. So this is kind of a classic blockade. Bishop can just sit here. King will sit on e2. That's why black stops that. Once white's king gets to e2, it's very simple here, and he's just going to shuffle back and forth. And we're going to see some nice defensive technique here. Defensive technique. You know, a lot of players do call this tournament Tilted Tuesday. It's very easy to get tilted when you're playing blitz. My thoughts on tilt, guys, is that it's very common. Of course, it happens to everyone, but ultimately it's not great for your chess. And if you are feeling genuinely tilted, my advice would be to stop playing, take a break, try to remember what you find fun about the game, and then come back when you're feeling like in a better mood, you know. Let's see, I think we're about to get round 4 here underway. And yeah, it looks like round 4 is starting. Let's check out this game. This is Naroditsky against Luca Moroni, really strong grandmaster from Italy. And let's see what Danya comes up with here. So he's playing g3. I believe this is known as the Glek system, named after Grandmaster Igor Glek from Russia. And okay, pretty solid stuff. So far we have kind of a copycat game. It's kind of interesting, but d4, can't copy that. Can't copy that. White hits first in the center. If black was to play d5 there, I think that would be kind of a disaster. Instead, we see exchanges on d4. And okay, pretty solid position for both sides. I would say white is a little bit better with a nice space advantage. And yeah, we'll see how Danya handles this one. Yeah, Renato Terry, he's one of the best blitz players in the world. I'm honestly surprised he's not a grandmaster, but you know, some players kind of specialize in blitz. I don't know about his case exactly, but there are quite a few players out there who are just very, very good blitz players, but when it comes to classical chess, they haven't quite, you know, figured out the same recipe for success for whatever reason. In fact, there's some, you know, masters out there, like players who are 2200 in classical chess, but their blitz is like 2800, 2900, like insane. Like they would like totally crush me in a blitz match. Yeah. All right, so queen d2. Well, Danya's he's gonna flex his Soviet school understanding here. He's just gonna bring his rooks to the center. Maybe he'll keep this rook on f1 and push f4 at some point. Nope, never mind. Right as I said that, he plays rook fe1. But I think we'll see white trying to take some space here. f4, rook a d1, and one day pushing forward. Okay, h4 from black, g4 is the response, not giving black any chances. Tempting black to sacrifice, but I don't think we're going to see this one. It's hard to imagine this working. White's king is very safe with the bishop on g2. If black ever moves the knight, then the dark squared bishops get traded off. It's possible, you know, especially in blitz, like sometimes these things can work, but I don't think we'll see it. Instead, we see d5. So black is striking back in the center. I assume white wants to react to this one with e5 to keep the space advantage. If we start trading stuff, then I think that just leads to mass exchanges, and black should be fine there. But we'll see what Danya comes up with. Yeah, exactly right, Sharkuma. Exactly right. Okay, Danya does take on d5. And I'm wondering what his point is here. So I guess he wants to trade dark squared bishops, that's for sure. And maybe he's actually going to be playing for the pin. He's going to take twice, go rook ad1, pinning black's pieces, and then playing for a c4 at the end. But we'll see. He spent a lot of time here. He spent 37 seconds on e takes d5, so clearly calculating something. Or I don't know, maybe his stream went offline and had to fix it. I don't know. I assume Danya is also streaming. I don't know for sure, but yeah, he's streaming as well. So you guys can check out Danya's point of view. You can check out Ginger GM. Let's see, Hikaru, of course. Blitzstream, Kevin Bordy. I think he's playing Title Tuesday. Jobava, Svidler. Lily Koridze, lots of streamers live now. You can check out their personal point of view. Okay, so takes and rook ad1, setting up some pin ideas. Now knight takes c3 would be gruesome blunder there, because queen takes c3 would be check. And yeah, looks like Danya has kind of a small edge here. I can go queen g5, queen f4, kind of keeping all the dark squares under control. A lot of pressure from white's rooks here. So white is a little bit more active. Maybe he can even snag this pawn on b7 at some point. Then rook b8. You're never really sure if you want to allow rook b8, rook takes b2. Okay. Maybe we'll see g5. Nah, g5, knight h5. Doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right. Ogata is streaming too. Yeah, very interesting. Okay, takes on b7. Black trades on d1 first. Knight takes d1. Oh, that's an interesting move. Defending b2 in advance. The engine hates it, but from a human point of view, it's very clever because he's defending b2 and he's keeping the rook, pinning the bishop on the e-file. Okay, but now rook to d8. Probably we'll see white bring the bishop back. Bishop f3 and queen c5. Oh, black is playing very active here. I love what black is doing. Look, he's down a pawn, but he's got active pieces now, and white is kind of missing his coordination a little bit. F2 pawn is hanging, knight on d1 is really bad. So he's gonna have to try to shore things up. Knight e3. Whoa, engine is really, really screaming here. Is rook d4? White queen just trapped? Oh man, Danya missed this one. Danya missed it. And that's unfortunate. He has to give up a piece with knight f5, only move, just to keep the queen alive. Yeah, very nicely spotted. And b4, but black just takes the piece, and that's just an extra piece. Luca Moroni, he's been doing his puzzle rush. He found that one. He just he spotted it. So we're gonna see a pretty serious upset here. I'm gonna switch it from black's point of view, and I think he's gonna convert this one. I mean, he's a really solid player. Hopefully he doesn't get too nervous against Danya. But look at this, Danya avoiding all the trades. But, I mean, black's position is just way too solid here. He's just going to go after the pawns and should be winning this one. Unless we just see a swindle of epic proportions, I don't see white coming back in this one. Bishop is super solid. Everything defended. He can go king f6 here. And, yeah, should be winning this one. Yeah, you can probably even just take on c4. Yeah. And then the rook and knight are going to combine to win the game. I think we're about to see resignation here soon. All right, he's still going. Rook can come in. Oh, rook a2, unfortunate blunder. And yeah, very nice upset by Luca Moroni there. Okay, let's see what other games are still live. Hikaru. He's still trying to convert as black here. And yeah, looks like he has extra exchange. And this outside a pawn, very, very strong. So I think he's going to be putting his rook behind the pawn. And he should be able to convert this one in smooth order. Not a lot of danger to black's king here. I don't think there's much to worry about. Very difficult for white to get any kind of counterplay. So yeah, rook just comes in, king gets out, and yeah, it's going to be over. Thanks, SM Pooh Bear. Yeah, you guys can check me out on my own channel, Chess Dojo Live, where we do a lot of, let's say, educational and instructive content. So feel free to drop us a follow there. We're gonna be streaming like all day today, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time over at the dojo. All right, let's see. Oh, we have Greg Shahadi. Oh, losing, unfortunately. Shout out to Greg, to Zubov. I'm sure this was a fascinating game, but let's jump to any games that are left. Ooh, Ryazantsev Vidit. Ooh, big matchup here. Vidit again looking to convert this endgame. And he's got the exchange, but white has the knight. And both players on like 3 seconds, 2 seconds. So really insane. Really insane. But we'll see if Vidit can keep his nerves and his internet connection. This is the danger, guys. You lose your internet connection for 1 second, it's over. It's over. You just flag. But that's going to be game over. He's going to take the knight. Excellent simplification. Removing white's last piece, and now just a trivial king and pawn endgame with 2 extra pawns. Yeah. All right, let's see who else is playing. Grischuk wins, so he's also going to be on 4 out of 4. Once this round is over, guys, we're going to be taking a 5-minute break as the players get a chance to recover for the next couple of rounds. Vincent Keimer held to a draw by Indian International Master. A little bit of an upset there. And here's the final game of round 4. Looks like white should be converting this one. Very, very... Ooh, rook h4. I don't like this move. No good. White needed to just keep black's king. But okay, it was good enough. Never mind. Yeah, white wins this one. That's going to be the end of round 4. There's going to be a 5-minute break in the tournament. Yeah, I'll be seeing you guys in about 5 minutes as well. I'm going to take a quick break myself. And I'll be catching you guys shortly. Let's see, we have Grischuk playing black here against I Am Swimmer Chess. This looks like this was some kind of a classical Sicilian. We haven't seen too many Sicilians today. But, yeah. Very exciting, very interesting opening to follow. I love seeing a good Sicilian. Let's see what Hikaru's up to. He is also playing black here and against another very strong international master. And then we also have Vidit on 4-4. He's playing white. And looks like he has a little bit of an edge here because of the structure. Black's pawn on c5 is weak, and he's going to try to take advantage of that. Let's see if we can find an interesting game here. How about Arabic Falcon? This is a grandmaster from the United Arab Emirates, Salem A.R. Saleh. Very, very good blitz player. And what was this? This looks like some kind of King's Indian structure. It wasn't exactly King's Indian, but it was a King's Indian structure, especially after black plays g6. And looks like white castles queenside here and plays for this g4 break. And now he's going to be playing for the attack. Knight g3, very tricky move, because if black plays f4, white can take on c5 and get that e4 square. So that one is looking nice for white. Queen d7, bishop h6. Now hoping to maybe trade for this one and take on f5. Maybe black just takes on g4 here. I don't know. I mean, I like white's position here. White's attacking chances seem very, very good. If you're just joining us, this is Title Tuesday, the world's biggest and strongest blitz event. Millions of dollars up for grabs in prizes. That's why we always see some of the world's best players compete in this 11-round slugfest. And yeah, this game definitely shaping up to be a really, really interesting one. So let's see how this plays out. We have rook g1 here. Rook f8. At some point, I feel like white is going to take, or maybe just come in with knight to f5. Yeah, especially now that there's this pin here. Knight f5 is very strong. So if black takes on f5, white's going to take on f8. And then recapture on f5. Oh, but black puts the knight on d4. He's sacrificing the exchange. Positional sacrifice, definitely a very reasonable one. Knight on d4, knight on c5, they're pretty strong. But I have to think white is going to be able to handle this one. Now he might be thinking about knight f3 here, but okay, he just recaptures. And now knight f3 is the big threat, so white's going to avoid this one with the rook f1. And yeah, white wants to trade the rooks here when he's playing against the exchange sacrifice, so he can be left with the only rook on the board. I imagine we might see like queen coming into h6 and white just playing very actively here. So yeah, should be good. Guys, if you're in the chat and you want to see a specific player, let me know and I'll try to follow their games. Okay, a3. Making luft, but also giving up the b3 square, so a little bit controversial there. But king a2, this king is safe. Although watch out for some endgame. If black gets a knight to b3 and a rook down to the back rank, that could be a checkmate. h6, time for g5, I think. g5, break things open. h4, g5, rook to g1, etc. All right, queen g2. He's still gonna be playing for this kingside play. Black is under heavy time trouble here, so I think we're gonna see white winning this one. Vidit. Where is Vidit? Vidit is done. He drew his game. All right, next we'll see Grischuk. Grischuk won his game. So these games are over. Let's check out Vidit. Yeah, Vidit's done, guys. Vidit is not playing right now. He drew his game. Yeah. Alrighty. Looks like white did win this one. Looks like that was going to be a very quick checkmate. Let's see other games that are still going. Hikaru is still trying to win his 5th game of the day. And let's see. I mean, he's got good chances. He got 2 bishops, extra pawn. And oh, bishop c4. Very interesting. He goes active. Doesn't go passive, but he goes active. And now he tries to cut off the knight. Maybe bishop d6 next. Yep. And knight c5, he's going to start bringing in the king. So objectively, I think white has decent drawing chances, but we're going to see Hikaru try to convert this one. King comes into e5. Bishop e6. And yeah, sharp stuff. Sharp stuff. I think white might have missed a little bit of a chance there with bishop to g4. But okay. Let's see what's happening here. c7. Oh man, sharp stuff. And looks like black is promoting with check. Oh wow, allowing him to queen, because otherwise bishop b7 would come with check. And white would queen anyway. Oh man, super sharp endgame. But black feels like black is doing well here. He takes on g4. And okay, white takes on h6. Oh, but here comes the deadly queen trade. And white's bishop is going to be not able to stop this pawn. The trick is you're not going to play g4. You're going to first kick the bishop off of the diagonal and then get the pawn going. And yeah, I think Hikaru is going to convert this one. He can go g3, but he decides to play bishop e4 first. And the problem for white is that this diagonal is too short for the bishop. This is well known. This is 100 endgames you must know. And okay, black wins, but the plan here was to bring the king to h2. Bishop would have to go to f1, and then bishop a6 decoys the bishop away from being able to stop the g-pawn. So that was going to be a GG in just a couple of moves there. All right, let's see who else is still playing. We have Zubov playing white here against, I believe this is Matthias Bluebaum from Germany. Looks like Bluebaum got the win there. And let's see who else is still playing. All right, GM Nick TLT against Vitaly Rodchenkov. Looks like black should be winning here with the extra exchange. Hold up. Was this bishop hanging? This bishop was just hanging, guys. I don't know about you, but I think king takes e4 is a pretty good move. Wait, king takes d5. Oh, I'm super confused. What's happening here? Whose side are we on? I think we're watching this from white's point of view. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, now white is winning. I think black blundered the rook somewhere. Very unfortunate time scramble. But now looks like white should be winning this one. He's got a little box of pieces. That's generally not the best strategy, but bishop takes f1. Grabbing pieces is always good. All right, let's go to another game. Okay, looks like Ryazantsev was upset. And one game left. Andrew Mako against Witcher. Ooh, classic, some kind of Nimzovichian position, but I guess we got a draw by repetition. Feels like the position should have been winning for black. But yeah, unfortunately, it was... he allows the repetition. And look at this, guys. Round 6. We have Hikaru versus Grischuk. We're going to watch this one. This is a battle of heavyweights. We're going to watch this one from now. Then we'll check out some other players as well. But yeah, these are two of the best blitz players in the world. So this should be a real treat. All right, 95. Look at that. Hanging his queen to get the bishop takes f7 trick. Tricky. Grischuk doesn't fall for it. He's seen these kinds of shenanigans before, and yeah, gonna get a pretty interesting game here. White is gonna have a little bit of space, but black is typically solid. Now b5, that was an interesting move, allowing white to take on c6, but Grischuk has his own tricks. Very interesting. Yeah, monster match. Okay, b3. Bishop coming to b2. I gotta say, I like White's position here. I feel like his pieces are going to be very active, just pointing at Black's kingside. Black is going to have to castle kingside at some point, and then White's bishops are going to be pretty annoying. This is a nice idea. Of course, White's bishop on d3 here, you're not going to get out this way, so bishop to b2 is the way. Bishop d4, trying to trade. Maybe we'll see castles. No, c3. Castles after the trade though. pretty serious error. No, c3 instead. I guess this bishop is dropping back to c2, and Hikaru is going to want to play d4 to secure the knight on e5. So much chess in St. Louis. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of events in St. Louis coming up. Well, right now they're doing the Grand Chess Tour in Croatia. That's starting, I think, in just a couple of days. And then they're going to have the U.S. Senior Championship, U.S. Junior Championship, U.S. Girls Junior, all in St. Louis. And yeah, those events are going to be very, very hard fought. All right, let's see what's happening here. What's up, Cartier Tank? And FIDE World Cup starting July 12th. One of the most exciting tournaments out there. Vishy with the mic. Holy moly, they got Vishy to do commentary. That's going to be awesome. Anand's commentary is really, like, I mean, top class. The guy sees everything. The guy knows everything. He's very, very good. And of course, Magnus playing, Fabi playing, yeah, a bunch of the top guys. All right, Rook h4. Hikaru playing for the kingside attack, looking to get some pressure against h7. I mean, I think White's position is okay, but I have to say, I think Black's position is also perfectly solid. He has easy counterplay against the c-pawn, and as long as Grischuk finds a way not to get mated here, I think he should be all right. Yeah, Rook c8. Now maybe we'll see c4 because this pawn is kind of a pain to defend. Has Anand retired from classical chess? Not that I know of. I don't think so. At least I didn't hear any official announcement. Alright, c4, bc. Now how's Hikaru going to take back? Either he's going to take with the pawn to kind of cover the d5 square, or take with the rook to kind of keep his structure solid. I'm not sure. Taking with the pawn is strategically risky because then this pawn will be isolated. But taking with the rook, then Black is able to trade stuff. You know, he'll just move the queen. Okay, takes with the knight. But now, okay, bishop on c2 is hanging. Black plays queen c5. Yeah, Black is happy with the endgame there. I think Black is going to be totally fine. Totally fine. Yeah. All right, bishop d3. Allowing the endgame. Now what's going on here? Does Black have some tricks? Bishop e4? Oh, g5. Look at this move, g5. But bishop e4 looks very tempting because White has a back rank issue. I feel like that might have been a possibility. All right, rook e1. Hikaru fixes the back rank. But now rook d4. Yeah, I think Black is kind of taking over here a little bit, getting active, but time is ticking down. Time is definitely ticking down. Was bishop takes b5 possible? Let's go back. I'm not sure which moments you were talking about. I'll just quickly check here. Let's see, bishop b7. Yeah, sometime this might have been possible. Yeah, with the queen taking on b5. I'm not sure what the players thought about that one, but definitely was a try. Yeah. All right, let's get back to the game. Now Grischuk is pushing on the king side here with h4, g4. very difficult endgame. Rook g5 check, king h6, rook a5, king g7, offering a draw. Hikaru doesn't want it. He's like, not that easy. Knight e3. Rook c3, takes on a6. Hikaru snags a pawn, but black here is still very active. And now he goes for it with g3, giving up another pawn. But look at this. Look at this. If king f2, he takes, and knight g4 check. Black is in the driver's seat now. Knight g4 check coming. He's gonna have an extra piece. Will he be able to win? Find out next time on Title Tuesday. No, I think he can do it, guys. He can do it. I mean, both sides have their passed pawns, but the knight on d5, that's just a very annoying, very strong piece. Oh, and he takes on b4 now. And white's just left with one pawn here. Grischuk is in firm position, and that's it. Black just resigns, white resigns because he knows this pawn is gonna run and game over. Wow, very well played by Grischuk. He moves to 6 out of 6, and he becomes one of the leaders in the event. Zubov also on 6 out of 6. We see Howell, Andrekin, Dubov. Haven't seen many Dubov games so far. He must have drawn early. And okay, looks like round 7 is starting. And all right, who do we have here? No, not round 7. This is still round 6. Oh, Vidit's still playing against Noterbeck. And looks like Vidit is trying to convert this one. The 2 pawns on the king side. Pushing forward here. But white's not going to make it easy for him. Bishop f4. The knights are so tricky, but time to activate that king. Yeah, king d4, king takes d3. This knight's super solid defending. Oh, he hangs the bishop, but the knight on e4 was also hanging. So well spotted there by Vidit. And now we get the knight trade. And yeah, should be winning endgame, but he's gonna have to defend this pawn and then use the a pawn to run forward. Should be good. Should be good. King d5. Okay, he goes king c3. Also makes sense. But, okay, black is a little... He has to leave the knight alone. Don't flag, Vidit. Don't flag. Oh, man. Oh, I think white is very close to saving this one. What I think he needed to do here, guys, was at this point, he needed to just play king b4, because white can't ever take this one. Because of... No, f2, there's knight d5 check, knight e3. Oh, tricky, tricky. But I think the a pawn was going to run there still. I think the a pawn was still gonna run. That's my take, guys. I think this was possible, and then on actually even king b3 maybe even more accurate, because takes f2, the knight doesn't stop the pawn anymore. Yeah, unfortunate miss there by Vidit. Let's see, any more games going on? All right, here we go. Round 7 starting. We have the battle of the leaders. Grischuk against Zubov. And let's see, we also have Dubov against Howell. Guys, when are we going to see the key matchup, Dubov versus Zubov? That's what I want to know. We got to get these guys paired one way or another. Got to get the battle of the Bobs going. Dubov versus Zubov. Of course, it's hard to top the trio of Dreyev, Bareyev, Gareyev, but Dubov and Zubov, you know, it's a good start. It's a good duo. All right, here we have Daniil Dubov against David Howell. Danny versus David here in the Catalan. And yeah, solid system for black. Also solid for white. We'll see what the players come up with here. Dubov, yeah. I love it. Well, let's see what's happening. E4, classic breakthrough here. Black takes on c4, tries to get counterplay with c5, but Dubov shuts him down with d5. Now, what's going on here? Because this pawn is kind of hanging, right? Black can take this one twice, but then I think we're going to see some knight g5 tricks at the end, hitting the h7 pawn, and as well as the piece on d5. All right, we'll see if David takes it. He does. He says, "Show me the money." And Dubov is now gonna he's gonna think for a bit, and then he's gonna show him what he had in mind when he sacked the pawn. But Dubov knows. This guy's intuition is just so good. So good. Knight e5. I feel like White probably had something better there. But okay, there is pressure on the d file, so this is not that easy for Black to deal with. And this is kind of Dubov's style. He just makes the game very uncomfortable. Sacks the pawn, plays for some pressure, and now Black has to spend some time figuring out, like, what is he going to do? If he trades on e5, then second knight comes in, and the pin on the d file is very annoying. If he moves the bishop, then again, the pin on the d file. So how to liquidate? Queen can't really get out because of knight takes f7. Queen will be hanging. Queen e8 doesn't look so great. Okay, he goes bishop e4. Can White sack the queen and play rook takes d7? Probably not enough there. Probably just queen e8. So I think he's going to just find some square for the queen. Maybe queen a4, maybe queen e2. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Who's Emperor 87? I'm not sure, but if you go to their profile on Chess.com and you open it, they should have their name listed. All right, queen e2, bishop f5. Oh, we got the who is command in the Chess.com chat. That's very cool. So that's Grandmaster Deepan Chakravarti. Awesome. I didn't know that was a thing. I did not know that was a thing. Alright, queen e2, bishop f5. So White's down a pawn, but again, this pin is very annoying. He might even take once on d7 and bring the second knight into e5, opening up the bishop to one day maybe go to c6. And yeah, it looks like White has some nice pressure in this position. Sorry guys, just fixing my my setup here. Just a moment. All right, there we go. So as we can see, we have Grischuk and Dubov at the top with 6 out of 6. Jobava coming in at 6 out of 7, though I think quite a few players might be able to at least tie or overtake him. Still a few players on 5.5. And let's see what's happening here. Oh, looks like Howell had to give up the exchange. How did that happen? So bishop e6, knight c6 play. He didn't want to go queen e8 because then takes bishop d6 wins the exchange anyway. So he takes right away on c6, tries to get out, but now White has extra exchange and should be well on his way to converting this one. So we'll check out Dubov's technique here. Okay, a little bit of a repetition. I don't think we're going to see White repeating though, although he is down on time. But in this event, you got to put up a big score. So you gotta play for the win. You got to find a way. But he's worried about bishop f5, rightly so. Bishop f5, bishop comes into d3. And Black is actually just winning the exchange back here anyway, with bishop to d3. Interesting, he's thinking about it though. Maybe he wants to play for more. Maybe knight g4 really put pressure on his opponent. You know, David Howell, he's no stranger. He's going to be looking to win this game just as much as White is. Queen c6. It kind of feels like a mouse slip, like he meant to trade, but no, I think this was an on-purpose move, so that if takes, bishop takes c6, he hits the rook and he hits the pawn. But now Black has to be doing absolutely fine here. Maybe even more than fine. He still has that extra pawn from earlier. He's managed to defend, and now this pawn is on d2. And rook can come to d8 just to support this one. And the question is white even threatening to take? Because if you take, then rook d8 with a nasty pin, and you might be losing material. So maybe we'll see like a cheeky a6 move. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, he trades. Oh, takes on e3. Howl sacks the exchange. Look at this. Knight to g4. He wants to take here. Somehow I feel like white's going to be able to hold this in the opposite color bishop endgame though. And yeah, don't think this will be that easy for black to win. He definitely still has very reasonable winning chances. Anatoly Karpov won a famous game with his pawn on d2. Against, who was it? I think it was Boris Alterman he defeated in a very similar endgame. But a3, unfortunately, black, the difference in that game was that white's pawn was on a4. And black's bishop was just holding this one. But here white is able to win the pawn. And yeah, now white is completely fine. This game should be drawn. And let's jump to the battle of the leaders. We're still battling it out in this endgame. Grischuk versus Zubov. It looks like white is trying to convert. And good chances here for Grischuk. Everything is very active, but oh, the players are just down to seconds, and it's going to be very important not to flag here. They do have 1 second increment, but you know, when you're down to seconds, a lot of times the 1 second increment, you know, it goes by very fast, guys. I don't know if you know this, but the 1 second increment feels like 0 second increment sometimes. It basically gives you enough time to move, and looks like we have a draw by repetition. Grischuk not interested in risking too much to win, and yeah, I mean, I think he still had great chances here, maybe bringing the rook around, but understandable decision. Let's jump to Vidit. Vidit, queen g5 check. Oh man, he just couldn't find a move. he had an extra queen, and he just gave it up. Oh man, incredible. What is happening? He can promote. Vidit, you have time to promote. But he goes here, gives check. I think black is maybe saving this one. Just the time scramble is, yeah, very, very unfortunate. I think white was winning the whole way there. But, man, very strange queen blunder. I guess he was just flagging. He just needed to make a move. So queen g5 check is unfortunate. Unfortunate. All right, let's see what other games we still have going. Andrekin, he defeats Noterbeck and jumps to 6.5 points. So that's going to be the leaders for right now with 6.5 points. Grischuk, Zubov, and Andrekin. We'll see if we have more games coming up. Round 8 should be starting shortly. Oh, 2 more games left. And looks like we have a queen endgame. Black is trying to win this one. Definitely decent chances. It's very difficult to defend against the g-pawn. And now any kind of, yeah, white's king not well placed. Oh, queen g6. Yeah, queen g6. Oh my god. Queen g6 was game over. All right, black wins anyway. And looks like that was the last game of the round. And round 8 should be starting momentarily. And here we go. All right, we have Grischuk, Andrekin. Does that mean Zubov, Dubov? No, Hikaru, Zubov. Unfortunate. We really got to get Dubov and Zubov to play, guys. I don't know if the people that make the Chess.com pairings are listening. I know it's all done by the computer, but Dubov and Zubov have to play before the end of the event. I am putting my foot down. This is the hill that I'm willing to die on. All right, here we have Hikaru playing black. He's gone with this trusty Dutch defense, and he is definitely playing this one for the win. Let's see who else we got in the game list. Hopefully it updates soon. We also have Grischuk against Andrekin. Another Berlin, so yeah, I'm not really a fan of this one. Ooh, we have Kamsky-Dubov. Ooh, big matchup here. Kamsky-Dubov. Kamsky, of course, probably streaming on his own channel. And this was an Alekhine's defense. Classic. Classic. So yeah, got a lot of leaders here. Dubov on 6 out of 7. Hikaru on 6 out of 7. Keimer 6 out of 7. Kamsky 6 out of 7. Yeah, if there are any players you guys want to follow, remember you can always go to the tournament and follow them directly. I'm trying to check out as many players as I can, but I'm probably going to focus on the leaders for now so we can see who is going to be winning the event. So we have Andrekin, Grischuk, Zubov, Hikaru, Kamsky, Dubov, Gabrielian, Artur Gabrielian playing against Arabic Falcon. That might be an interesting game as well. Let's see this one. Yeah, really sharp stuff here also. But let's stick to Kamsky Dubov. We haven't seen Kamsky play yet. He's, of course, a legend in his own right. Absolute legend. Former World Championship challenger. And yeah, look at this. Look at this. Some endgame here. First glance, I think black is totally fine. I mean, all pieces are about to be developed here. Bishop g4 coming out. White looking to trade off. White should also be okay. I would say that this is close to equal, if anything. Let's see what else. What else is happening here? Probably going to move away from this game. Feels like this is not going to be the most exciting game. Let's actually jump back to Grischuk Andrekin. I mean, at first this was kind of a somewhat boring Berlin endgame, but the players have made it anything but. Look at this. F5, takes, G6, E6, going all out. But this is the problem with the Berlin from White's point of view, is that even though it looks like Black's position is super passive, when the position opens up, this light-scored bishop actually becomes a very strong piece. And yeah, it feels like Black might be able to get some serious counterplay going. There he goes, takes on F5. Now Black is up a pawn. It looks like equal material, but I think White's in huge trouble here. Once this bishop comes out, Rook comes to G8. I mean, the queens are off the board, but that doesn't mean that White's king is not going to get mated. White's king is in huge danger here. So 95 check. He's trying to kind of short things up. Black needs to find a square for the king. I kind of like king F6 just to keep the G file open, but we'll see. We'll see what he comes up with. Okay, he goes king to G7. Probably he didn't like some checks there. Knight G4, Knight D7 check. So he's going to slide the king over to H7. Rook is coming to G8. And White's king is not going anywhere. Bishop C5 check coming. This is going to be real brutal. Maybe Rook F8 here, going after the king this way. He's trying to run. He's trying to run away, but this is going to be really tough. Okay, Bishop C5. And where are we going now? King E2? Does he want Knight D4 check? What's happening? Very important for Black not to let White's king escape into safety, because then he's going to kind of solve a lot of his problems. Okay, Rook E8, lining up against the king. Knight E4 played. Now maybe Rook H4. A lot of stuff hanging, but bishop's hanging as well. Maybe Bishop D4. Take, and then look to do something on the E file. Yeah, we'll see, guys. We'll see. Alright, Knight F6. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what's happening here, guys? I turned away for 1 second, and the board is just like on fire. What is happening here? Both kings getting mated. I mean, black has to be very careful not to allow this one. Okay, rook was hanging, white sacrificing the exchange. Probably gonna take this one back. But he has 30 seconds here, and Grishik down to 3 seconds. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, very, very difficult. No, I don't think white hung the rook. I don't think he hung the rook. I think this was very much an on-purpose sacrifice with the idea of bringing the second rook in. In fact, black didn't even want to take it at first. But then it kind of has to. Okay, black gives back the exchange. Now we have completely equal material. Probably a dead even position. Now I think both kings are a lot safer. So this one is heading towards drawish territory. Let's jump to this game. This is Hikaru against Zubov. Very challenging middle game. Both players here with the blockade. Look at this king on g3. And feels like Hikaru is playing for the win, but his opponent is not making it easy for him. Just moving back and forth, back and forth. And how is black going to break through? At some point, he might want to go rook a2, but it might not be so obvious that that's going to work out. This knight on d4, by the way, is just a beautiful piece. Objectively, I feel like white has to be totally fine. But we'll see. Okay, avoids the trade. Very interesting. I think white definitely could have traded if he wanted to. And look at this. These guys are just blitzing out. This is some of the fastest chess I've ever seen. They're just gaining time with the 1 second increment. But yeah, it feels like they're moving back and forth. And at some point, I mean, we're probably going to just see a repetition. But Hikaru wants to win. Hikaru doesn't want to repeat moves. That's why he's changing his setup. Now he puts the bishop on e8, king on f8, guaranteeing that there's not going to be a 3-time repetition. And okay, king h2. White wants to put the pawn on g3. Very interesting. White getting the full dark squared blockade now. And yeah, Hikaru continuing to push. Continuing to push here. But what can he do? White is just rock solid. How to break through. Is he going to play d4 at some point? That feels very risky. He might lose it from there. But maybe he wants to put the bishop on b7, bring the bishop to a8, push d4, and try to get something on the diagonal. It feels like kind of the one chance. Okay, nope. Bishop going back to f7. King going to g7. And d4, there it is. There it is, guys. And now white's like, oh, nah. I don't think white's going to take too kindly to this. Oh, knight e7, beautiful blockading motive. Bishop coming to c6. I mean, Hikaru might win this one. Queen comes in, bishop c6. This is very annoying pressure on the diagonal. Beautiful positional sacrifice, I have to say. Very instructive. And now rook is on a3. And for the price of one pawn, black was able to activate a number of their pieces. And I think he's going to put the triple up and play rook a2 here to sack the exchange and go after the g2 square. I think, yeah, black might be winning this one now. Okay, had a chance there to play rook b2 with the pin. But now white might be kind of holding again. Oh, bishop h1, what a move. What a move. Hoping for some checkmating ideas. Oh man, things are going to get sharp here. Rook a3, maybe rook b3 coming. Queen a3 now. Yeah, rook is coming to b2. I think Hikaru has figured out the right construction here. Now bishop c2, bishop e4 is going to be pin city. Black is winning this one. I think black is now totally winning. It's going to be tricky, but I think he is winning. King comes to g6, good prophylaxis. And yeah, Hikaru wins by timeout. But actually the position, I think, is pretty much lost. Bishop e4 coming, and the pin on this rank is just way too strong. Yeah, very well played. Very well played by Hikaru there. Just showing the speed and the strength. All right, guys, we're going to go on a quick break here, 5 minutes after the end of round 8. And 3 more rounds to left in Title Tuesday. So don't go anywhere. Don't change that channel. Final 3 rounds coming up, and we're going to see who is able to win. A lot of players on 7 out of 8. Grischuk, Andrekin, Hikaru, Arabic Falcon, Kamsky, Jobava. A lot of players with chances there. All right, guys, we'll be back in just a few. Stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome back to Titled Tuesday. Round 9 will be starting shortly. And yeah, we got a bunch of players at the top here with 7 out of 8. So we'll be getting some new games soon. Here we go. Oh, look at this. Jobava against Hikaru. Huge matchup. Huge matchup. Number of other top games as well. Zubov against Kamsky. Grischuk is playing Grandmaster Hanzo Hasashi from Uzbekistan. Not familiar with this player. Oh, that's Noterbek. Another Noterbek. Yakuboev. Wow. There's multiple Noterbeks, guys. They're like 2,900. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But let's watch Hikaru Jobava, because I mean these two personalities are just so big, so huge. This game is probably gonna be pretty hotly contested, I have to say. And what do we have here? Kind of a interesting system. Knight f3, e3, and yeah, white playing this kind of pseudo d4 setup. Now with c4. Both sides have their strengths. Black has an extra center pawn, but white has some easy pressure against the d file here. So I kind of like white's position slightly better. Slightly better. And there we see it. Rook d2, rook a d1. Alright, knight g6. And yeah, Hikaru's gonna have to find a plan here. What to do? What to do? Knight e4, offering some trades. Black's position, I think, totally solid. One day we might even see like a5, a4, some counterplay on the queen side. But as soon as Black plays a5, he gives up the b5 square, so he has to be careful about that. He wants to reserve the option to play a6. And now f3, yeah, really restricting this battery on the long diagonal. Very solid positional stuff from Hikaru. So f3, we'll see how Black continues here. And you know, this could go a little bit wrong for Black just positionally, right? If we get a lot of trades on e4, knight comes into e4, and gonna be pressure on the d6 pawn. All right, so he takes. I'm expecting bishop takes. Yeah, trading off these light scored bishops. And some pressure against d6, but now Black goes d5. He's like, I'm done with that. I'm done with that pawn. It's gonna go to d5. I'm gonna fight for space. But now this pawn will also be put under pressure. So I don't think Black has fully solved all his issues just yet. Alrighty. Well, we got some more trades here. Knight e5, takes, a5, a4. Now that white has no knight to fix on this b5 square, Black pushes a5 and tries to get this counterplay. Hikaru fixes it. Now the b3 pawn is a potential weakness as well. And there we go. We see Black going after this pawn, allowing white to win the d5 pawn, but then you'll have to give up b3. Not exactly a trade I think white wants. I think he wants to keep this pawn protected and try to win this pawn for free. And now Black has to make a choice here because d5 is kind of hanging. So he has to figure out either to take or come up with some tactical way to support that pawn. Okay, rook d7, that just defends it straight up. Very good. Bishop c3. eyeing this pawn on a5. And again, we're gonna see Hikaru try to put the squeeze on here. I think he knows he doesn't have a huge advantage, but he has a little bit more time on the clock. He's gonna put some pressure, and he's gonna try to grind out his opponent, just like the last game we saw when Hikaru won that game with black. He's really one of the best players in the world at just extending the game, making the opponent play a bunch of accurate moves to defend. And yeah, it's very, very, very difficult to hold against a skilled blitz player. So queen b7. Now he's keeping this tension. He doesn't want to push e4 and just give black easy protected passers. So maybe bishop f2 coming and putting some pressure here. Takes on e5. This pawn is hanging. But now black is able to take on e3. Queen c3. Hikaru's point is he's going to try to keep an eye on this pawn, but his a pawn one day is going to be pretty strong. So rook d4. Can't take yet because rook d1 is hanging. Rook d4, very nice move by Jobava, because now if white takes and then takes, then there's going to be... Wait, what is the idea? What happens if white takes twice? Oh, then black can take on b3 at the end. And he gets his counterplay. Yeah, very nice. Rook d4. Okay, bishop g3. e2? What's happening on e2? I think white has to be careful here. Oh man, this is this is risky. Bishop d6, challenging the bishop. Probably is going to go back. Bishop f2. Very risky to leave this pawn on e2 for white, but it's also risky for black because black might be losing the pawn. And if black loses this pawn, that's going to be the end of black's counterplay. Can't take yet because there are some tactics there. So bishop e5. And Hikaru is just keeping this one alive. And now he defends this way, hoping to take the pawn on e2. How's black going to defend this one? Looks like he can't. So Hikaru snaps up this pawn, but at least black gets some counterplay. f5, e4 coming. Game is still very, very far from over. White has an extra pawn, but black's pawn's in the center. Absolutely massive here. So we'll see if Jobava can create enough counterplay in time. All right, c5. King goes to h8, very good practical decision just to get out of any checks. Now queen d5, ooh, not sure about this endgame. Now black's pawns are kind of stuck, but white's pawns are just getting going. And yeah, a5, e3, he might sack the bishop there, but just start pushing all his pawns. And this is looking very difficult for black. Looks like Hikaru is going to convert this endgame. Now rook takes e4 is threatened, followed by promoting, so d2, rook goes back. And yeah, I can't take here because of the queen. So this is going to be a GG. Excellently played by Hikaru. He wins again to move to 8 out of 9. Let's see who else is still going. Andrekin wins. He goes to 8 out of 9. And let's see. Zubov Kamsky. Oh, this game is still ongoing. Looks like it's actually ending as white's last move, rook e1 check, seals the deal. Black had some compensation, it seems, for the exchange, but yeah, this knight on e7 ends up a goner. Yeah, very nice. Very well played. Okay, let's see who else is still playing here. Sergei Shigalko from Belarus. Looks like he won his latest game. Okay, endgame here. Between two FIDE masters. Russian tenor playing against Elbal 95, who happens to be from Russia. a4. Now this should be a pretty straightforward draw from black. He could have just taken this one, but I guess he wants to be a little tricky with king b4, king b3. And now, yeah, this is going to be a pretty simple Philidor draw. I think we'll just see some... No repetition white's going to try, but yeah, really not much you can do when the king is well placed like this. And yeah, we have the draw by repetition. Thumbs down from black. Not a fan of the repetition. All right, let's keep going. Draw, very cool. Very cool, known book draw. And that's it, we have round 10 starting. Hikaru is playing one of the Norderbecks. Let's check out another pair. We have Grischuk playing against Blue Bomb. Grischuk seems to have lost his game, so he's down on 7 out of 9. 4 players on 8 out of 9, it seems. Including Andrekin, Hikaru, Hanzo, Hasashi, that's Norbek, and Boka Sakyat from, looks like Indonesia. I haven't seen any games from Boka yet. And who is this? This is Grandmaster Novendra Priyasmoro. Playing black here against Andrekin. Maybe we'll check out this game as well. So yeah, 4 players left. But, well, a couple players on 7.5 out of 9 as well. I think they still have chances. If we see some draws on the top board, Zubov, Zhigalko, Parhamov, they might be able to bounce back as well. Actually, let's check out this game, guys. Look at this matchup. Parham versus Danya Naroditsky, who's also on 7 out of 9, trying to get back. Let's just quickly play through this opening. Looks like we had a closed Sicilian. Transitioned into open Sicilian. Very interesting. And now we have this structure, which is kind of like a hedgehog style from black. Hedgehog being a very, very solid setup. Knight e5, nice move from Danya, heading to c4. I think we'll see b3 here. It's not the move you always want to play from white, but this knight on c4 is so annoying that I think you kind of have to. Not really sure what else he can try here. But b3 looks like the move, which is solid enough because the knight on c3 is defended and supported by the other knight. So yeah, I think white is doing all right here, but he's gonna have to choose a plan. And there we see it, b3 after 51 seconds of thought. Feels like a long think for 3-1, 51 seconds, but okay. I'm sure the 2900 knows what he's doing. Alright, looks like white played bishop h6 to trade off the dark squared bishops, rook ac8. Rook fd1, queen c5. Yeah, really solid position. Personally, I like to prefer I would probably prefer black here by a little bit. I just kind of like the Sicilian structure. I like the pressure on the c file. But white has his own trumps. He has pressure against d6. And this is definitely a serious weakness that black needs to account for. At some point, we might just see d5. Just black trading off the weakness, trading off pieces, and trying to improve the structure. Now maybe b4 is a threat, hitting c2. So white has to be pretty accurate here. Yeah, any other Danya fans in the chat? Who's rooting for Daniel Naroditsky here? Easily one of the best streamers, chess players out there on the planet. So I'm sure he has quite a few fans in the chat. Yeah, very cool, very cool. Yeah, may the best player win. May the odds be ever in your favor. Totally on board. Rook a2. Look, notice how he drops back to a2. This is Grandmaster chess. Defending the c2 pawn ahead of time because he knows one day this pawn is going to be hanging. Is Hess playing? You know, I'm not sure. I didn't see him in the list, but I might have missed him. So it's possible he is playing. Okay, knight ce2. Looks like the queens came off. How'd that happen? Oh, queen d4. White offered the trade. Black accepted. Usually Sicilian endgames are known to be kind of favorable from black, but I still think white's position is relatively solid enough. He does have this counterplay against d6, but I have a feeling Danya's going to try to win this one. He kind of has to, because he's on 7 out of 9. He's a point behind the leaders, 2 rounds left. So he's going to have to try to win this one if he has any chances of making it to the top places. Okay, d5. Finally, we see this move. Black making this break, allowing white to possibly take and leave black with an isolated queen pawn. But I guess he doesn't mind that too much. Okay, e5. I guess now we have a French structure. This is now the French. Maybe h5 coming next, knight f5, bringing the knight to a good square. Okay, knight f5 immediately. And on g4, this knight wants to come into e3, so white, I think we're going to see king f2 here just to kind of control the knight. Okay, knight d4. Instead, he plays for trades. But I don't know about this one. I feel like black trades here. And, oh, he just takes on g3. Oops. A little bit of a blunder. The rook is coming to c3 now, and now black has won a pawn, going after the f4 pawn, and just like that, white's structure kind of collapses. Now, bishop on e8 is not so good, but one day the bishop will get out and have its say as well. But for now, okay, actually not going to be so easy, I think, to convert this one. Still a long fight ahead. Let's switch perspectives. We'll see it from black's point of view, see if he can try to win. And yeah, knight f5. Okay, trades off the knights. c2 hanging. That seems like it might have been a blunder. I think white needed to defend the c2 pawn. And okay, now black is 2 pawns up, and I think is going to be winning this one. Rook h2. He can go after this pawn. Yep. Maybe h5. And okay, time to get this bishop in. Bishop b5. Yeah, there we go. Maybe rook check. And you got to get the king in as well. Either king g7, king h6, or f6 somewhere. Danya repeating for time, but I think he still wants to play for the win. Now he did drop the b pawn, but I think that was kind of necessary, because white's position here very passive, so black still should have really, really good winning chances. Oh, look at that construction. Pushing white's king to the back rank. Now threatening bishop e2. He goes d3. But white defending this one very, very well. White defending really well. King h6. Ooh, oh, he was worried about the e6 pawn. Okay. Yeah, things are just blowing up now. All 3 results still possible. Black's bishop on f1 kind of stuck. This king just so strong, stopping the d pawn. And now I think white might be turning the tables here. White has multiple passed pawns. And yeah, black is just not able to get anything going with his own material. Has to take. But now this pawn is going to be lost. And looks like Parham is actually taking this one down. Still not over. Still not over. Anything can still happen. But extra piece and e-pawn is really, really strong here. I mean, these guys are just so good. It's honestly insane how good they are at these time scrambles. But Danya's still fighting. Bishop covering the key square. Their instincts are just so good. Now the king comes in. Finally, the pawn is pushing forward. Bishop d5. Rook f3. Rook e3 check. He promotes. And oh wow, it doesn't take, because then black would have been able to promote. Amazing. He keeps the queen on the board, but now black has all these passed pawns. Okay, bishop c4 has to be good here. If he can just avoid flagging, he should be able to win this one. Oh man, look at these pawns. He's trying. Danya is pushing so hard, but the queen is just too strong, and that's gonna be it. That's gonna be a GG. Wow, insane endgame there. Honestly, truly insane. But Parham pulls out the win. So now who's leading? It's going to be Andrekin with 9 out of 10. Hikaru with 9 out of 10. They probably play next. Zubov Parhamov. Oh, Parhamov. He's He's the third guy. He completes the trio. We got Zubov, Dubov, and now Paramov. All right, so it looks like Zubov and Param will be playing next as well. And yeah, round 11 is going to be starting soon. Let's see, do we have any games left? Yeah, a couple of games still. One game left in the round. Here we go. Last game of round 10. Yeah, that game was insane. That game was just like mind-blowing. All right, looks like this game is drawn by repetition, 118 moves, and we are heading into the final round of Title Tuesday, guys. It all comes down to this game, Hikaru versus Andrekin, 9 out of 10 each. I think both players are going to try to win to just get clear first place. Zubov and Param, they're on 8.5 out of 10. I imagine they're playing. I don't think they've played so far, but we'll see. We'll see. And we'll follow their game as well. But for now, let's stick to board one. I mean, this is going to decide the champion of today's Title Tuesday. All right, and yeah, looks like we have very solid Slav defense here from Andrekin, a6 Slav. It goes bishop d3, bishop g4, now queen b3, taking advantage of the fact that black developed the light square bishop very early. Now this knight can come to e5. Now that white is unpinned, then okay, we'll see how white tries to fight for a little bit of an advantage here. Who's Fair Chess? Fair Chess is Grandmaster Dmitry Andrekin from the motherland, Russia. Very, very strong blitz player. Easily one of the best blitz players in the world. Just super, super good. Yeah. And it looks like he decided to take on f3 here to weaken white's structure. Give white the two bishops, but also force white to play with some weaknesses. But now this is like very very double-edged structure. He's got the rook on the g file, and yeah. Now in terms of the tie breaks, let me check that for you guys. According to the tie breaks, Hikaru is leading on the tie breaks. He has 57 points versus Andrekin's 54.5. However, the tie breaks will adjust after this round, because the way they work is they take into account kind of the strength of your opponents and how many points they scored. And so yeah, depending on how everyone finishes the final game, the tie breaks could definitely adjust in Dimitri's favor. I would say it's too close to call at this point. Too close to call. But for the moment, Hikaru has better tie breaks. But if I know anything about these guys, I don't think they like leaving it up to the tie breaks. I think Hikaru's just going to want to win this game outright and clinch victory without having to worry about it. If they draw, then that opens up a couple players to catch up, either Zubov or Param. But basically those four are the only ones that can actually win the event. Hikaru, Andrekin, Zubov, and Param. Although Zubov and Param, their tie breaks are definitely worse than the top two. Okay, but we'll see e4. E4, very ambitious move. Now bishop b4, I love this decision from black, trading off one of white's bishops. And now these pawns could get weak in the near future. So bishop b3, Hikaru avoids the trade. I feel like black's position is actually perfectly solid. He's got the c file now to create some counterplay. His knight can possibly come into c4. I think black is okay. I think white has some weaknesses in the structure, and it's going to be difficult for white to really generate a serious attack here. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay, knight c4. I'm not sure about this one because now white takes. And then eventually black's going to have to take with the pawn here. And this gives white kind of a much more solid center. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Trades queen a4, now attacking from this angle. Let's quickly check in with the board 2 matchup. This game is looking like a very, very sharp endgame, actually. 2 bishops for white, but black structure I think is reasonable. Though it feels like, yeah, maybe white's bishops are pretty strong here. Knight d6 possible, threading some stuff. Looks like Zubov has the edge here, but we'll see if he's able to convert. All right, but let's get back to our board 1 game. Knight d5. Wait, what a move. Look at this. Knight d5. If takes, takes. 2 pieces hanging on the e-file. Man, look at that. What a shot. What a shot. So Hikaru backs up. Bishop f2. He doesn't want to allow that. Knight comes to b6. Queen c2. Rook c8. h4. Hikaru still pushing, looking to get the h-file play. Yeah, knight d5 was sick. Yeah, thank you, Darren. Thank you. This was a lot of fun. I mean, this game, I still have no idea how it's gonna end. But Dmitry is going down on time here, so time is indicating that white has the edge. And as this game devolves into a time scramble, you know, these extra 25 seconds for Hikaru are definitely going to be useful. But we'll see. Andrekin is a very, very good blitz player. If Hikaru gives him a chance, he's just gonna snag it. e5 is committal because this gives black the f5 square, but he's pushing d5. He wants to get his d pawn going. But now black is playing for the counterplay. So kind of a risky decision, but you know what to do. You can't just defend passively the whole game. You have to try something. But Hikaru doesn't see it. Queen f2 check, king h1. What can black do here? Okay, knight's coming back to f5. And wow, what a sharp position. Look at these double pawns. Queen d5. Wait, e2 hanging, but he wants e7 check. Oh man, so sharp. The bishop e7 drops back. And what is white doing? I mean, this bishop on h2 is really bad. Knight is coming to f5. White's pawns are fully blockaded. I think black is actually turning the tables here big time. Big time. Knight comes to f5. Oh, queen takes e2. What a trick. Andrekin finds the piece. And that's it. He's going to win this one. Hikaru desperately scrambling to survive, hoping to trap the knight, but black should win this. c3 breaks the knight out. He can take, bring the knight to a4. Okay, goes bishop h4. I guess he wants to come in this way, but Hikaru's not going to make it easy for him. He's going to try to come in. King g4, f5, e7. Okay, king f7 now, though. Oh, man. Andrekin down to 3 seconds. Can he convert? Can he convert? He's got to move. He's got to move. He cannot flag. How is his internet connection? Hopefully he's plugged in with an Ethernet cable. Otherwise, very risky. Yeah, 0.01 seconds there. Oh man, 1.4. Oh boy. Oh boy, guys. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. This is this is too much. Hikaru's pawn is now very strong. He has to give back the piece. And just like that, Hikaru is 100% back in the game. It's just very difficult sometimes to hold these positions. I mean, to win the positions, right, when you're down to seconds. And now actually Hikaru is winning this rook endgame. He's got an extra pawn, and looks like he's going to try to convert. It's not going to be easy. Actually, this could get very drawish very quickly. In fact, I don't see how white makes progress here. Okay, rook b5. Now if king takes, there's rook b6. So c3, he trades this one off, tries to bring the rook to the a-file. I think black is okay here. He needs to not flag. Oh no, he flagged. Unbelievable, guys. Hikaru wins. Hikaru wins. The connection must have dropped out for a second and for Andrekin, and that's it. Hikaru wins the event. 10 out of 11. Parham won his game, so he gets second place, 9.5 out of 11. And then third place will be decided by the tiebreak. But it looks like Andrekin should have the best tiebreak at the end of this round and will likely be taking third place. Oh man, that was insane. That was insane. But no, guys, I don't think it's fair to say that Hikaru just won by flagging. I mean, when you're under pressure the whole game, it's very difficult to hold on the whole time. So yeah, that was not just flagging. Also, there's 1 second increment, right? So it's not the same as 3-0. No, that's just Hikaru for you. His blitz skills are, I mean, almost unrivaled, you know, when it comes to online chess. Okay, a couple games left in this channel. In this round. Looks like white won this one. And let's see, do we have a final game? All right, this is the last game, guys, of Title Tuesday. We'll see if black can convert this highly difficult endgame. I think I saw this one in 100 endgames, you must know. Yeah, Queen HA checkmate, that seems right. And that's it. And look at this, guys. Actually, the tiebreaks updated, and Komsky snuck into 3rd place with the best tiebreak. Unfortunately for Andrekin, he was shut out. So Hikaru wins first, Parham gets 2nd, Komsky 3rd. Fantastic event, very, very exciting. Really, really cool stuff. Okay, that's gonna wrap it up for the tournament, guys. Title Tuesday, of course, runs every Tuesday and is open to titled players, as the name suggests. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for hanging out with me here in the commentary booth. I'm Kostya, if you didn't see my name yet. I usually stream on twitch.tv/chessdojo live. You can follow my channel there. I actually have a couple of co-streamers as well. It's not just me, but I also work with International Master David Pruis, Grandmaster Jesse Cry, and some other folks. Sometimes we have some of our regular viewers come on and stream for us as well. And we try to keep it educational. It's like a real dojo. But yeah, thanks to everyone who tuned in. Stay tuned. Chess.com is doing this big State of Chess.com show. I think that's starting at 12:30 Pacific time. That's going to be with Danny Wrench giving us an update on the latest happenings. So that'll be starting in about 25 minutes. But for now, I'll be signing off. Thanks everyone who was hanging out in the chat. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the future. Bye now.